Now it is my pleasure to introduce Bonnie. She was born, she is still alive, and she will be alive forever and ever. We know that. She is a light in the world. I've had wonderful conversations and lunch with her, and Bonnie, it's all yours.
So I just want to tell you about this last month. I've had a lot of realizations. First of all, I'm looking out and I just see so many holy reflections of myself. You're all so beautiful. I just want to cry now. Okay. So I had a lot of things come to me this last month. And first of all, it's all the forgiveness. That's our function, forgiveness. Second, I got do the work. Third, kept coming to me, all experiences, no matter if we think they're bad or good, we have to be grateful for them all, the same. And then I got into some separateness. And it came to me at like 2:30 in the morning when our roof was leaking. and then projection. So I'm going to try and tie this all in together. I had been going through some feelings that, I'm just like, why is this sticking with me? Why does it keep sticking with me? And we went to Elaine's for her Thursday night group, and we were all kind of talking about it. Everybody seemed to be going through the same kind of, these weird feelings are just sticking with us. So we felt that maybe things were just really going deeper and deeper. And then we had somebody in the group that was really having a lot of problems, and I found myself saying to her about forgiveness and guilt, you have to do the work. And then when I was driving home from Elaine's, I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to myself. You have to do the work. And so I'm trying to do the work. And then, I'm kind of going through that. I'm thinking I'm done with that. And then these feelings started coming up. The mother-in-law, feeling like she's dissing me for whatever reason, and then this person and that person. It was going on, and my head's just chattering. I'm not good enough. I can't be like that person. I can't do this. I don't even know what I'm thinking when I'm doing here. And then our roof was leaking, 2:15 in the morning. My husband's doing the roof, and yeah. So after I got him all the pans and towels and everything, and I was just kind of laying there waiting to see if he needed anything else, and I'm thinking about this, and my head's chattering again. And I'm thinking, all of a sudden I just went, oh my God, I'm feeling my separateness. And that was like, wow. So I just kind of immediately went, God, I'm really feeling separate here. Jesus took my hand, and I just kind of calmed. And the next morning, doing our lesson for, and we do the ones with James Twyman, because that's the one I signed up for first. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. And it was all about projection. And it was like, wow. I have been projecting this out there. I feel like a film's rolling constantly. You kind of hear it, the old-timey films, you kind of hear that rolling. I'm thinking both of my eyes are just going like mad. I'm just projecting it out there. I projected it on all those people. And so James said, and I love it, if I defend myself, I must be attacked. Because I am projecting my guilt thoughts into the world as some other that will attack me. And of course, they're going to attack me. They must. They must. My projections must attack me because that's what projections do. That is what projections do. They attack. But when I realized and I stopped projecting my shame, my guilt, and my separateness into the world, that's when I can let the love come in. And so I did a really heavy meditation that morning, and I went to all these people that I'd been projecting on, and asked for their forgiveness, and went through, just trying to forgive all that unconscious guilt, unconscious shame, conscious shame, and all that separateness. And wow, it's like that, boom. Just the people that you had been projecting on, all of a sudden you hear from them. And it's like, and it's just beautiful. And they're kind. And it's just so much love. And so I just kind of wanted to share those things. And also the Father's Day had come in, and that's where the in that same meditation I had to do this because our friend Bonnie had wrote the most beautiful thing about her father. And and a lot of other people had beautiful things to say about their father, and I think I've always held mine on the cross. I've known fear since I can remember, and I've held this against him. People will put on Facebook that we miss Ray, Benfer, da da da, and I don't even want to look at it when I see that. When I see people say they miss my dad, and so in that same meditation, I was able to say, I came here and I asked for this. I wanted it. It's part of who I am. It's part of why I'm standing here shaking to share. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for who I am. And I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do it without all you guys. I just see you guys are so beautiful. Oh. So, with that said, I wanted to do this visualization on forgiveness. It's one Lisa's done, and Elaine and I did before, and I'm asking Elaine to do her God Hurts through it too. And it's from 121, and he asked you to picture an enemy in your mind. And I asked you to close your eyes and picture somebody who presses your buttons. If you feel you're all clear on that, somebody may need your help. Picture them. And just take a couple deep breaths. And another one. And see this person in your mind. And just look them over. Look at their hair, their face, their mannerisms. What clothes they're wearing. Now, as you're looking at them, try to perceive some light in them somewhere. A little gleam that you have never noticed before. Try to find some little spark of brightness shining through that other picture you've always held of them. Look at this picture until you see a light somewhere within it then try to let this light extend until it covers this person and makes the picture beautiful and good. And look at that changed perception for a while. Then turn to your mind to someone who you call friend. Try to transfer the light that you learn to see around this other person to your friend. Perceive him now as more than a friend to you, for in that light, His holiness shows you your Savior, saved and saving, healed and whole. Then let Him offer that light to you. And let your former person who pushed your buttons and friend unite in blessing you with what you gave. And now you are one with them, and they with you. Now you have been forgiven by yourself. And do not forget through the whole day the role forgiveness plays in bringing happiness to every unforgiving mind, with yours among them. Every hour tell yourself, forgiveness is the key to happiness. I will awaken from the dream that I am mortal, fallible and full of sin, and I know I am the perfect Son of God. And when you're all ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you. Keep it going for Elaine now. This little firecracker is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. She's awesome, and I can't wait to hear her.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We all seem to have this fear that just comes up in moments that you think you've conquered. And I believe that we are studying this so that when these come up, we can surrender it much quicker and not stay stuck in it. And, excuse me, for me, as Bonnie was saying, things are coming up. I finally have ended a relationship completely after this back and forth thing. And it was the grief process that I avoided. I didn't want to go through it. And so grief is coming up. And I was trying not to deal with it. But when you finally sit down and say, okay, now's the time. If I keep avoiding it, it's not going to go away. It's going to keep coming up. So I said, okay, then buckle your seatbelt and just let it ride. And feelings of loneliness came up, and, you know, even though I know I'm not alone, I know I have all my friends, I know I have so much. I know God is with me all the time. I know Jesus is with me. And so what am I feeling alone about? You know? But it's that human part of me that, you know, says, wow. But I've adjusted. Now it seems to be going away, and I've gotten through it, and I feel good. And I believe having this class that we do on Thursday nights has been a great help. You know, not just for you guys, but for me. It seems always the right and perfect time that whatever I need to say is what's speaking to others. And, you know, I get this message when I do my little meditation, and I come up with what number page comes up that I need to speak on, and I go, oh, but I just kind of was talking about that already, so why do I need to do that again? And bam, something comes up in the group and you go, oh, okay, I get it. So what has happened is, and I need my glasses, so, it's chapter 10, the God of sickness. And so many people are dealing with so many sicknesses, and we keep hearing that, well, we're not a body, it's not real, it's just an illusion, but it's a hard concept to grasp because you're living here. You feel physical, you're in a body, and you're still here. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal when a crisis comes up and you're saying, I'm not a body, but really, I feel like one? So this theme has come up a bunch of times, and I decided that I would speak about it here again. And we just went through this last night, and when I tried to come up with something else, it didn't come. So anyway, it's chapter 10, and it's the idols of sickness, and it's paragraph 8. I do not bring God's message with deception, and you will learn this as you learn that you always receive as much as you accept. You could accept peace now for everyone. Wow, how come we don't? Like, that sounds like an easy thing, doesn't it? Let's just put that out there. Peace for everyone. Why is that a difficult thing? Because we have to accept it for ourselves first. That's the part that we take in to be difficult. Once we can accept it for ourselves, it just happens for everybody. And that's all we can ever do. Sorry, that's my phone.
It's Guy Polly.
Yeah, there you go. He's right here on time telling me, see? You're not alone, I'm right here. Anyway, so you accept peace now for everyone and offer them perfect freedom from all illusion because you heard his voice. How many people hear his voice? How many people hear God speak to them? How many people listen? We hear it, right? Yes, you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes it seems daunting what we hear and we don't want to accept it. But again, like my grief situation, the more you accept and surrender, the more you get it. We all want peace. Who doesn't want peace? Who wants to stay in chaos? I love how Lisa said, that's it, done. And I know that I don't have too much drama in my life anymore, and I like it that way. It's so much better. So, but have no other gods before him, or you will not hear God's voice. God is not jealous of the gods you make, but you are. You would save them and serve them because you believe that they made you. You think they are your father because you are projecting onto them the fearful fact that you made them to replace God. Why would we do such a thing? Fear. And why would we fear the very thing we want, the very thing that we are? We fear love. Why? All these beliefs that have been given us as we've grown up, all these thoughts that have entered our minds, all of what we see is not real, but we believe it. We don't want that anymore, do we? Yet when they seem to speak to you, remember that nothing can replace God, and whatever replacements you have attempted are nothing. Nothing. Very simply then, you may believe you are afraid of nothingness, but you are really afraid of nothing. And in that awareness, you are healed. You will hear the God you listen to. You made the God of sickness. And by making him, you made yourself able to hear him. Yet you did not create him, because he is not the will of the Father. He is therefore not eternal, and will be unmade for you the instant you signify your willingness to accept God as eternal. If God is but one Son, If God has but one Son, there is but one God. You share reality with Him because reality is not divided. To accept other gods before Him is to place other images before yourself. Well, how many times have we done that? We get afraid because sometimes we just can't see what there is. And when we can't see it, we get scared. And we take that in, and then it starts to bring more of that to us. I was literally shaking before I came up here, and now I'm totally good. Because the fear of making a mistake and going through that experience again was kind of overwhelming. But I've decided that I'm going to push through all my fears. I don't want to have to stay stuck there. It doesn't mean I'm not going to encounter them. It doesn't mean you're not going to encounter them. It's how you handle it all. It's how you finally just say, okay, I give it up. God, you take this. In Bill's words, you put it on the altar. And God takes it. How many times have somebody said, yeah, when I finally just surrendered, it was gone. It felt great. We can all do that. All of us. Not just me, not just anyone that speaks up here, not just people you think that have been doing this for a long time, and it doesn't matter. Time is not real. And that's interesting. That's a whole other story. So, the end of sickness, don't we want that? We don't want to feel like this anymore. All magic is an attempt at reconciling the irreconcilable. All religion is the recognition that the irreconcilable cannot be reconciled. That's a lie. Sickness and perfection are irreconcilable. If God created you perfect, you are perfect. We are perfect. We invent sickness to think that that's what we have to do. Last night when we had our group, and I had talked about this a couple weeks ago in group, and it was the last part of it that we didn't finish, and that's what you heard. And when I got the message to speak it again, I thought, all right. I didn't know why. And as I was speaking, Sandy started to break down. And we were all like glued to her at that point. And she came out and said something that was deeply affecting her. And she needed to be at our group for that reason. And for that I thought, wow. And we all just kind of sat there listening. And Sandy would like to be able to speak today and say what happened. You ready? Come on up. You want me to stay with you, or do you want to do it on your own? Okay.
I went to Elaine's group yesterday for the first time, and it was interesting because we just sat there, and she opened the book and she said, I just have to say this again, read this again. And after she read this part of the book, I had shared that just yesterday, at this time of year, I go for some diagnostic tests because I have some things wrong with me that they haven't been able to explain. And so I had an ultrasound, and I was told yesterday that I have some lesions in my liver, and they want me to have an MRI. And I had some other things in the past that they were looking at, and now these are new. And so I shared that, and it was exactly the part of the course that I needed to hear about. And we did a meditation, and it was beautiful. And you know, what I got from the meditation was just like, you know, I was talking about how a lot of this brings up fear in me because my dad died when I was little, and I have a huge fear of leaving my children. And I was saying that I don't care about my fate because I'm a core student. I know it's all good. I just don't want my children to be sad. And we did a meditation, and that's what came to me, is like how I feel like I just don't want my children to be sad. It's like my father felt that about me. Like, it doesn't matter about me, I just don't want you to be sad. And isn't that how God feels about his children? It makes me feel like the Father, because we all are both father and child. And the Father looks at us and just doesn't want us, to be sad. Just wants our perfect happiness. And so I'm just talking about it because I don't want to hide anything in the dark anymore, nothing. And I don't want you to hide anything in the dark anymore, because we are good enough. And I mentioned last night too, it's like I think sometimes as core students it's hard because it's like, I don't want to say anything uncourse-like to that person who's suffering, but I don't think it matters. I mean, I think what matters is the love that we connect, like Elaine pictured Jesus between us and like passing love back and forth. And isn't that what we're doing here? We are Jesus. We're passing love back and forth. And also the part about like I'm not alone. I think I don't want to believe that I'm alone anymore. So, in communicating with other course students, I think that's probably more important than being perfect course students and coursifying everybody. It's just like, I'm not alone, and just pass love back and forth. So that's all. Thank you.
So you see, you never know what's going to come up. And that was why she came to the group, and she got what she needed. She got to hear the very things she needed to hear. You're not alone. We are all of one mind. And if we can have peace in ourselves and do it for ourselves, we can do it for everyone. So in our meditation and in the group, we got peaceful, and she felt that. And she was able to be okay with it. And then beautiful Karen actually saw a healing happen and knew that she would be okay. And that was wonderful too. And it's wonderful to have you here too. Karen's been through a lot of her own stuff, and a lot of that same fear has been this pattern for all of us. And we want to really break free from that. And so the more we just accept and surrender is what you have to do, so that we can get there. We can do it together. When one does it, we're doing it for all. How many times do we hear that? If we can do it for ourselves, I'm doing it for you and you and you. We're one mind. We are not separate. And as Bonnie was saying, how she would get separate, how we've all been there too. We feel separate, and then we want to be alone. We think that we can't go and be around other people, and we have to figure this out ourselves. And we can't. We cannot figure things out ourselves. We need God to help us. And when we accept that, and we feel free, then we can move on and be with our friends and be with the people who can physically be there to guide us and to help us as well. And so we, at this point in the journey, there's no such thing as there's the you're better than me, or I'm better than you, or you're farther than me, or I'm farther than you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean Bill and Lisa know more than we do, or we're all the same. And if that's the lesson that we can take, that we are the one mind, let's just heal it. Let's heal it. Let's bring peace. Bring peace to yourself, and then do it together and put it out into the world. And she's right, every time we're in a circle, and this just kind of happens to be automatic, every single time we're in a circle, no matter who I'm with, I feel the energy come through me and project outward, and I visualize it happening with everybody else. And then I visualize Jesus is right there in the middle. And his heart is outstretched to all of us. And I feel that. And I can feel the energy going through hands when we hold hands, and it's this beautiful visual. And I hope now that you can kind of see that, so that when you're in meditation, when we're doing our closing prayer or holding hands with anybody, that you can see that too. Because it's just beautiful. I'm extremely grateful and honored to be up here to speak. I know that for me it was a very difficult thing that I never thought I could do. And I think that going to the conference was a big boost. It was, you watched these other people do it, and at first you thought, oh my God, can she speak? And you could see the anxiety a little bit, and then they just start speaking. And you're like, I can do that too. Because we all have something to say. We're here for a reason. We're not here just to, feel miserable or, have a party every minute. We're here to help. We're here to help ourselves and others. And that's why we gather. Our job is to take that out into the world. And I think that little by little, everybody's getting it. And for me, I am honored to be able to be with all of you guys who are my mighty companions. So I'd like to do a nice meditation. We're going to do a clearing meditation. Okay, so I invite you all to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. Breathe in love. Breathe out joy. Breathe in joy. Breathe out peace. See the white crystalline light with gold coming through your crown. Envision it going into your head and into your face and your ears and your neck. Feel it go into your shoulders and your upper back. Feel this golden, beautiful stream of white light radiating through you. It's coming through your chest and into your arms and into your hands and in your fingers. Feel that light coming out the palms of your hands. Feel it in your belly and in your lower back. Breathe that beautiful light. It's who you are. It's what you are. Feel it in your thighs and in your knees and down into your legs and into your ankles and finally into your feet. Feel yourself firmly grounded into the earth. And sit with whatever comes out. See this energy balancing all your chakras, clearing out anything that's unnecessary. Goes into the ground and gets transmuted into love. God bless all the peace on your beautiful faces. Gently open your eyes. Come back to time and space. I want to leave you with lesson 124. Let me remember I am one with God. Today we will again give thanks for our identity in God. Our home is safe, protection guaranteed in all we do, power and strength available to us in all our undertakings. We can fail in nothing. Everything we touch takes on a shining light that blesses and heals. At one with God and with the universe, we go our way rejoicing with the thought that God Himself goes everywhere with us. Take that in. There's your peace. Carry that with you. And remember, let me remember I am one with God. There is nothing else. I thank you all. I'm grateful again, as I said, to be here, to be able to speak what God puts through me. Amen.